So now that you have the general idea down, let's look at some that are shifted in other directions. We have a different center. So notice now we're in a different format. Just like with other circles, right? We have a general format of x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1 as the general form for our ellipse. And again, if the a squared here is under the x squared, this means that I'm going to be using a horizontal major axis. So if we look here, our center is going to be at 1, negative 1. And I'm going to do some work here about my denominators. So again, this one's larger, so that means that a squared is 25, or a is 5. B squared is 16, or b is 4. And so now I'm going to plot those, and again, I'll find my vertices, covertices, and all those coordinates after the fact. So let's go over here and plot our point. All right, so at 1, negative 1, that's my center. Right. And then, again, I'm on a major axis that's horizontal, so I'm going to plot my a values this direction. So I need to count out 5 away from it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, that's a vertex. And going the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. And then I need to go up 4 from the center to get to my co-vertex. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, that's a CV. And 1, 2, 3, 4. That's another CV. Right. Now it's going to look fairly close to a circle. It's not going to look as much squished like most ellipses do because of the fact that the difference between the major and the minor axis is only 1 unit. So it's going to look like a lopsided circle, which is okay. But again, part of the reason why I'm labeling these co-vertices and vertices is so that way I can then put them on my chart. So now I have one vertex at negative 4, negative 1, and another vertex at 6, negative 1. I have a co-vertex at 1, 3, and another co-vertex at 1, negative 5. And again, I need to find my foci. So that's going to be c squared equals a squared minus b squared. And so the difference here is 9. And so it's going to be plus or minus 3. So what that means is that I'm just going to add 3 to both sides, to the right and the left of my center. All right, so go out 3. 1, 2, 3. And go out 3. 1, 2, 3. And again, that's my foci. And I can label those coordinates as well. So one of my foci is at the coordinate 4, negative 1. And the other is at negative 2, negative 1. So again, this is how we're going to be graphing now, where we've changed the center of our ellipse. And we have to be able to graph the vertices, covertices, and identify the foci. So let's do one more. Right. Notice that example number 2 here, still in the same general format, but there's a larger denominator underneath the y. And so again, when I write this as x minus h squared, this is now going to be b squared, because your longer axis is the one with the longer denominator, or the bigger denominator. So now my center is at negative 2, positive 3. And again, when I look at this, my a squared again is 25, so a is 5. My b squared is 16, so b is 4. But now, because my denominator is larger underneath the y-axis, I'm going to be graphing a longer y this way. Right. Now, if we wanted to, we could find our foci or our c value now. Right, it's similar to the last one. Right. And really, when we're doing this, when I'm finding a, I really should be doing the plus and minus just to show that I'm going both directions. I tend to leave the plus minus off because I know I'm going to move from the center to the right and the left, but it's up to you. All right. So let's find our center now. All right, so again, our center was at -2, +3. And now I have a longer major axis that's vertical. And so I'm going to move from there up and down 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's a vertex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's another vertex. And then 4 units out to find my co-vertex. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. And then I can also put my foci on there because I C value is not a square root. And again, that's lies on the major axis on the same as my vertices. And so I'm going to go out 3 on both of those. And then I only run my circle or my edge through my vertices and my co-vertices. And so you'll get better at it, making that look a little bit more circular. So let's go label all of our vertices. So again, our vertices, we have a -2, 8, and a -2, -2. So I'm just pulling all of these off of my graph, my picture. Co-vertices is a -6 and 3, or a 2 and 3. And my foci are at -2, 6, and -2, 0. So again, once you create your graph, you can start identifying all of those pieces.